Right now on Good Morning America, first look, new reaction to the Trump administration's claim that taking Tylenol during pregnancy may be linked to autism. Medical groups pushing back.
Jimmy Kimmel returning to late night after his controversial comments about Charlie Kirk's accused killer. But not all ABC stations will be airing his show tonight.
President Trump's border czar defending himself after allegations he accepted a bag of cash during a sting operation. The Justice Department closing the investigation. Democrats demanding answers.
The dispute on a commuter train.
You call the police to arrest the one black dude on the train.
A writer for a hit TV show claiming he was kicked off the train, placed in handcuffs because of how he was sitting. The response from rail authorities.
A boy killed during a medical treatment after an oxygen chamber explodes. What a new lawsuit claims.
Plus, something different about the new class of astronauts at NASA.
A musical surprise on Monday Night Football.
And later, why one of the most annoying things about the internet could soon be going away.
From ABC News, this is Good Morning America. First Look.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Schulze.
And I'm Perry Rustin. We begin with new reaction to the Trump administration's claim that taking Tylenol during pregnancy may be linked to autism.
The president directly appealing to pregnant women to limit their use of Tylenol, but health experts are pushing back.
This morning, medical groups are criticizing President Trump after he urged pregnant women to stop taking Tylenol, claiming it could lead to a higher risk for autism.
Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. If you just can't, it's fight like hell not to take it.
Trump claiming the active ingredient in Tylenol, acetaminophen, is tied to a rise in autism cases. The administration saying it will now advise doctors to prescribe Tylenol only in cases where a high fever would pose a risk to the fetus.
That's, for instance, in cases of extremely high fever, that you feel you can't tough it out, you can't do it. I guess there's that.
The American Academy of Pediatrics saying Trump's news conference was filled with dangerous claims and misleading information. The coalition of autism scientists saying the claims made only stoke fear and falsely suggest hope when there is no simple answer. The White House pointing to a handful of studies that show a possible link between autism and Tylenol. But all existing studies stop short of showing cause and effect. The White House pointed to one study by Harvard and Mount Sinai, but the lead author himself warned it is not conclusive.
He actually used an analogy about ice cream sales and violent crime. Both rise in the summer, but we know that ice cream does not cause violent crime.
This question was also researched back in 2024. A large study involving over 2 million children found, specifically when looking at siblings, that the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy was not associated with adverse outcomes in terms of neurodevelopmental disorders such as autism.
The FDA commissioner defending the Trump administration, saying they want to inform, not instruct.
Acetaminophen has been given willy-nilly, way too frequently, without any discussion of the potential risks. The government is not your doctor, and we're not telling people exactly what they must do or not do.
But many doctors worry the administration's announcement will make pregnant women hesitate to treat a fever.
Uncontrolled fevers in pregnancy pose an increased risk of miscarriage, of neural developmental defects.
The FDA has also now approved the cancer drug leucovorin to treat autism symptoms. Critics say that it needs more testing.
Jimmy Kimmel is returning to late night after his controversial comments about Charlie Kirk's accused killer, but not all ABC stations say they will be airing his show tonight. Overnight, Jimmy Kimmel's competitor Stephen Colbert reacting to the news. Kimmel is returning to late night TV.
We got word that our long national late nightmare is over. And plus, now that Jimmy's not being canceled, I get to enjoy this again.
Disney ABC announcing the decision after pausing the show indefinitely following comments Kimmel made last week about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Disney saying, last Wednesday we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. The temporary pause came after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr appeared to threaten action against local broadcasters who aired Kimmel's show.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. these companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Yesterday, Carr denied threatening to revoke the licenses of ABC stations that aired Kimmel's show, saying instead Disney made a business decision to take the comedian off the air.
And what I spoke about last week was that when concerns are raised about news distortion, there's an easy way for parties to address that and work that out. And in the main, that takes place between local television stations that are licensed by the FCC and what we call national programmers like Disney. They work that out, and there doesn't need to be any involvement of the FCC.
Sinclair, one of the biggest owners of network TV affiliates, says it still will not air the show despite Kimmel's reinstatement. The company saying beginning Tuesday night, Sinclair will be preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live across our ABC affiliate stations and replacing it with news programming. Discussions with ABC are ongoing as we evaluate the show's potential return. Nexstar, another major local affiliate owner, has not said whether it will air Kimmel tonight.
Authorities say the suspect who shot into the ABC station in Sacramento last week was politically motivated. Officials say he had a note in his car that mentioned Jeffrey Epstein and threatened the Justice Department. Sources say the suspect's mental health may be a factor.
Well, the man who's become the face of President Trump's immigration crackdown is defending himself after allegations he accepted a bag of cash during a sting operation. The Justice Department has closed the investigation, but Democrats are demanding answers. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the story. Nicole, good morning.
Well, Perry, good morning. The White House is defending border czar Tom Homan after allegations that he accepted a bribe from undercover FBI agents before Trump was elected. Now, Homan was allegedly caught on tape accepting a bag containing $50,000 in cash while agreeing to potentially help undercover agents obtain government contracts once Trump took office. Investigators were still working to determine whether Homan would have followed through, but the investigation was shut down by the Justice Department over the summer. Now, the White House says it was part of the weaponization of the Biden Justice Department, and the FBI says it found no credible evidence of wrongdoing.
I did nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. And there's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. And I'm glad the FBI and DOJ came out and said that nothing illegal happened.
Meanwhile, Democrats want more answers. They're urging the Treasury Department watchdogs to investigate, and at least one senator is calling for the tape from the sting operation to be released. Perry.
Nicole, thank you. Closing arguments today in the trial of Ryan Ruth. He is charged with trying to assassinate President Trump in Florida. Ruth is representing himself. He did not testify. A friend called as a character witness told ABC News he does not believe Ruth is a violent person, but believes he would sacrifice for something he believes in.
Now to a dispute on a commuter train. A writer for a hit TV show says he was kicked off the train and placed in handcuffs because of the way he was sitting.
This morning, the man seen in this video being removed from a train on the way from New York City to Connecticut is speaking out.
Because this white woman said she didn't like the way I was sitting.
Authorities say Alex O'Keefe, a former writer on the TV drama The Bear, had his feet up on the seat next to him. O'Keefe posting the video saying a woman told him to fix the way he was sitting. After he refused, he says she told the conductor, who in turn called police and stopped the train.
Let's go. I haven't done anything illegal.
When police arrived, they told him to get off the train and he refused, asking what he was doing that was illegal. He was then handcuffed and removed from the train. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority says O'Keefe continued to refuse to exit, delaying service for several hundred other riders for 6 minutes. He was then issued a summons for disorderly conduct and was allowed to board the next train. According to MTA rules, riders can be fined $50 for occupying more than one seat by placing their feet up. And if a rider ignores a violation notice, they can be ejected.
Why they're delaying people, why they have to get the people involved, the cops involved. Just take your feet off the seat. It's that simple. And respect other passengers.
O'Keefe responded overnight saying, quote, a 31-year-old white man in business casual would never be violently pulled off a train and detained because one customer deemed their sitting disrespectful.
Time now for your Tuesday weather.
Good morning, everyone. We're watching for the possibility of severe weather. We're talking northeastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, much of Arkansas during the day today. Damaging wind, large hail, a few tornadoes, and some flash flooding. with this cluster of storms as it develops and moves from northwest to southeast across that area. Also watching the tropics very carefully, Hurricane Gabrielle moving farther out to sea, but that's been sending big waves to the east coast. And the National Hurricane Center keeping an eye on 2 different areas that could develop into either tropical depressions or storms during the next week or so. Meteorologist Jeff Smith, ABC News.
Coming up, a driver trying to get away from police jumps a drawbridge.
Also ahead, a boy is killed during a medical treatment after an oxygen chamber explodes. What a new lawsuit is claiming.
And another member of the royal family under fire for their ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Well, it's like something out of the Fast and the Furious. Seattle police chasing a driver in a stolen car. So the driver swerves into oncoming traffic, goes through a barrier, and then airborne across a partially open drawbridge. The car was found later. The search for the driver continues.
We turn now to Michigan and the family of a 5-year-old claiming he died during a medical treatment, all because of corporate greed.
This morning, the family of a 5-year-old killed in this hyperbaric chamber is suing for $100 million.
The 2 photographs to my left are pictures of the inside of the chamber showing the significant fire damage that was done when the chamber ignited and began to burn Thomas.
The family says Thomas Cooper, who was being treated for sleep apnea and ADHD, died in a fire and explosion as he was undergoing oxygen therapy at the Oxford Medical Center in Troy, Michigan this year.
These things are designed and manufactured and sold and used for the sole purpose of profits, to get bodies in, bodies out, and get the next body in and next body out and take the money.
The civil lawsuit targets the Oxford Center and the maker of the hyperbaric chamber, claiming negligent training, a lack of supervision, and a lack of signage warning of the fire risk.
There were no automatic fire detection systems. There was no effective emergency extraction system, which would have been helpful because, you know, Thomas's mother was severely burned while Thomas was burning alive, trying to get him out.
The defendants also face criminal charges, including multiple employees who pleaded not guilty to charges ranging from second-degree murder to manslaughter. The manager of the Oxford Center responding, saying he prays for the family, but calling this a tragic accident. The maker of the chamber not yet publicly responding to the new claims.
The Detroit Free Press reports an expert testified static electricity caused that fire.
Several charities have cut ties with British royal Sarah Ferguson after the release of an email she wrote to Jeffrey Epstein. The Duchess of York called Epstein a generous and supreme friend in the email, published shortly after a 2011 interview where she said she would never have anything to do with him again. A spokesperson for Ferguson says she sent the email on the advice of her lawyers after Epstein threatened to sue her for tying him to sexual abuse.
Coming up, something different about the new class of astronauts at NASA.
And then also ahead, why more people on social media are predicting 4 ex-prison guards in upstate New York have pleaded guilty to manslaughter and the beating death of an inmate. Their sentences will range from 2 to 22 years behind bars. Officers were seen repeatedly punching and kicking Robert Brooks last year. 4 others will go on trial, 3 charged with murder.
NASA has introduced its new class of astronauts, and for the first time, there are more women than men gearing up for missions to the moon and beyond. The incoming class of 6 women and 4 men were chosen from more than 8,000 applicants. One of them could be the first person to step foot on Mars.
So from out of this world to the end of the world, this morning there is a disturbing theory spreading on social media. The end is near. At least that's what one corner of TikTok is claiming.
My fellow Christians out there, I want this video to help one another.
It's being called Rapture Talk, a convinced contingent of TikTok users who claim the rapture is happening today.
Are we not scared?
It all started with a South African preacher who posted this podcast in June.
God took me to see the future, and then he brought me back.
He claims Jesus appeared to him in a vision, telling him he would return to Earth on September 23rd and 24th, dates coinciding with the Jewish holiday Rosh Hashanah.
Millions of Christians all around the world, including South Africa, will disappear in a split second.
It's a concept that's been explored on TV and in movies for years, from This Is the End to The Leftovers. But now some followers are convinced the worthy will ascend to heaven while the rest face judgment on earth.
Our salvation is in Christ alone.
Some even claiming to be selling all their possessions. One man says he got rid of his car.
I'm catching a flight to heaven in September anyway. Oh, I need the car.
And while others are less convinced,
since this is the rapture eve, there's no, calories aren't going to matter anymore.
Some experts say this kind of end times thinking isn't as bizarre as it sounds. Dr. Deborah Kissin tells Forbes, apocalyptic predictions often emerge during periods of social upheaval, economic instability, or global crisis. And psychologists say doomsday predictions are not new because of social media now. They are just spreading faster. But in that story, it's hard to tell who's serious and who's just playing along with this.
And you hope that those people who sold their car can maybe get it back if the world doesn't end.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, coming up, big surprise from one of the Kelsey brothers during Monday Night Football.
Plus, America has a new king of beers, the new top seller, next. Time to check the pulse. We begin with a musical start to Monday Night Football.
ESPN analyst Jason Kelsey really got into it. Despite the chin strap, which you can actually see is really kind of up around his nose, Kelsey played the sax with the Baltimore Ravens band before the Ravens took on the Lions.
Yeah, there was plenty of scoring in this one. The Lions thought they wrapped it up on David Montgomery's second touchdown run, but the Ravens came right back down the field and scored again. The comeback fell short, though, when an onside kick failed. The Lions win 38-30. Next, America has a new king of beer.
The new top seller is, drumroll, Michelob Ultra, which takes over the #1 spot from Modelo. Analysts say one reason Ultra is so popular is because of its partnerships with major sports, including the NBA.
There you go.
Next, they are the cookies that we do not like.
The internet cookies may finally be crumbling, or at least those pop-up ones that we've been trying to get rid of for a very long time. Cookie Monster's popping up too. So they're going to give you the option of allowing websites to collect your information for advertisers. The pop-ups stem from a law passed in Europe in 2009, but officials are now considering changing the law to allow a one-time setting, so we'll stay tuned for that.
We like that. Next, some people in Northern California are on alert for a vicious squirrel.
Flyers are posted around this town near San Francisco warning of a squirrel attack. A squirrel is on the run. It's attacked 5 people, sending 2 to the hospital with scratches. These pictures are pretty incredible here. Experts say the aggression is likely because the squirrel has been fed by people.
Don't feed squirrels.
Don't feed the squirrels. Finally, a Powerball winner in Missouri claimed half of this month's nearly $2 billion jackpot.
He's staying anonymous, so there's no video of him, but he told lottery officials he's a homebody. His perfect day is sitting at home. Now his wife says you got to drag him out of town.
He took a lump sum. More news next.
Checking more top stories, President Trump addresses the UN General Assembly today, and he'll meet with Arab leaders to discuss the war in Gaza. It comes as France and other key allies formally recognize a Palestinian state, a move that Trump opposes.
And President Trump is urging pregnant women to limit their use of Tylenol after linking the painkiller to autism. Many health experts are slamming Trump's remarks, saying it is dangerous advice not backed by science.
Sean Diddy Combs is requesting a reduced sentence of no more than 14 months in prison. He was convicted of 2 prostitution charges. In a bid for mercy, Reuters reports that Diddy's new request cites trauma he suffered as a child after his father was murdered, linking violent behavior and substance abuse.
A coroner says 2 men hunting in southern Colorado were killed instantly by a lightning strike. They were found last Thursday after a week-long search.
Today's weather, rain and potentially severe storms across the plains in Texas into the Midwest, with flood watches in effect from Kansas to Arkansas.
And finally, we're rolling with some cool dads.
Danny New has their story.
Let's go, let's go.
Every Sunday morning in Los Angeles,
How we feeling today? Feeling great.
these dads are ready to run with only one free hand.
Do you have like one hand on it, one hand doing the regular running motion?
That's definitely me.
Nutritionist and personal trainer Hezekiah Johnson here founded this nonprofit called Rolling with Dads, which runs a lot deeper than just a running club with strollers.
We are trying to foster a community of fathers that need the ability to connect.
Hezekiah and his vice president, Eric Martin Jr., first connected a few years ago as they bonded over both trying to raise their sons following the loss of their own fathers.
That's just something that, you know, kind of hurts me to this day, just wishing and having that acknowledgement to know that, hey, son, you're doing great.
After getting their nonprofit status approved, in January they were finally able to launch Rolling with Dads.
We're rolling deep today, we're rolling deep.
Which, yes, encourages exercise, but also provides a chance to connect over anything from sports to just a little shared experience.
It's always great to know that they do the same thing. It's like, nah, it's normal, okay? Don't worry about it. They do this around that age.
Up next, Hezekiah and Eric want to expand to daddy cooking classes, as well as workshops focused on mental health and support.
Let's go.
All while breaking a few stereotypes, too.
Are you guys all rolling up in your minivans?
No.
It's BMW.
Yeah.
It's a new day.
So the plan, guys, is to expand Rolling with Dads to more localized chapters across the country, and the Dad's Stroller Running Club is coming to Georgia in October, where Eric lives, guys.
Danny, thank you. It's great to see men's groups like this. It's very important.
Getting the steps in. That's your Good Morning America First Look.
Have a great day.